Only the best come north. These words greet every person that enters the gates at Minot Air Force Base. Senior enlisted leaders should continue to seek opportunities to improve the quality of life for airmen that struggle with adapting to remote locations, to minimize distractions that could impact mission accomplishment. This brief will cover the background of Minot Air Force Base. It will discuss the challenges associated with changing the airman's perspective, and also the recommendation to redesignate Minot Air Force Base as the Continental United States, or CONUS, Isolated Station. The base is located 15 miles north of the city of Minot. And the area was chosen because it has plenty of open farmland to mask the noise of a B-52 bomber. It was also a perfect place for the intercontinental ballistic missiles, also known as ICBMs, so that it gives the missile launchers extra time to respond to a nuclear strike. All of this property spans about 26,000 acres of land. And so it sits in a prairie with high winds and freezing temperatures. Glamorizing this piece of real estate is going to be a challenge for any senior enlisted leader. But we're going to discuss how changing the perspective of airmen might help with this effort. Although the remote location was optimal for the mission of the base, it had the opposite effect on morale. Airmen throughout the Air Force have a negative perception of Minot Air Force Base, and it's because of the shared experiences of their friends, which can all be summed up in one phrase: why not Minot? Freezing's the reason. This phrase has a negative connotation throughout the Air Force, and it discourages other members from volunteering to serve there. Typically, enlisted members serve 5 to 10 years at Minot Air Force Base, unless promotion, separation, or retirement come first. Secretary of the Air Force, SECAF, Deborah James, visited Minot in January of last year to assess mission operations and also gain an understanding of the airman's perspective. She left with concerns about morale and a plan to address other mission-related issues. She immediately instituted several initiatives to combat and improve morale. She increased manning 100%. She offered bonus and incentive pays to nuclear personnel, and she spent $160 million on new equipment. Now, these initiatives did help resolve some of the issues and challenges we just discussed, but they did not address the daunting concern of the airmen serving there without hope of relocation. So we're going to take a look at a recommendation that's viable to help with that effort. Redesignating Minot Air Force Base will establish minimum tour lengths, concrete minimum tour lengths, and it will also enable the airmen to relocate at a much faster rate. Implementation takes only a few modifications to the regulation, and it's feasible. So redesignating Minot Air Force Base will help with the effort of SECAF to improve morale. Not redesignating Minot Air Force Base could adversely affect the airmen assigned, because suicides and domestic violence incidents at Minot are the highest in the Air Force. So redesignation could facilitate change in this behavior and give airmen a branch to hang their hope on. This speech covered the background of Minot Air Force Base. We discussed some challenges associated with changing the airman's perspective, and we also looked at a recommendation that was viable to change it to a CONUS isolated station. Senior enlisted leaders need to champion this effort, improve the quality of life of the airmen that struggle with adapting to remote locations, and also to minimize those distractions that could impact mission accomplishment. Yes, Minot could be the best for those who come north. It also could be a place where airmen thrive and move on to greater experiences. Psalm says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Redesignation will give airmen hope. Thank you.